on his behalf also quoting slokas like that. So it is like that. If you want, you can find that which will support your material needs in the scriptures.
So if somebody is conditioned or they have seen their parents doing certain pujas at home, like or mothers, they do Ganesha puja or these pujas, and now we came to Krishna consciousness, we took initiation. So should
do not disturb the minds of those who are
not them, not for about us, like we took initiation.
Yeah, so
should we still continue doing those pujas?
Why would you want to? You're already worshipping Krishna, right? It's just like in the second chapter, Prabhupada talks about Shraddha, no? First chapter? Bhagavad Gita? Yeah. Shraddha. So then, we don't do Shraddha anymore. Why? Prabhupada didn't recommend that. Why?
Because if you're doing devotion service and you don't need...
By pleasing Krishna, you don't need to please the demigods or your forefathers or all this. You don't have to. All you do is...
The faith is not like that to accept that yet.
Then how you are saying you're a Krishna Bhakta? In the beginning maybe you... It depends, right? If you are initiated devotee asking me that question, then I'll say something is wrong. But if you are not an initiated devotee, then I'll say it's okay for you, you know. According to the person's advancement, you can encourage them likewise and say, don't worry, offer first to Krishna, then offer to the demigods or whatever, like that. So you adjust accordingly. But if the person is an initiated devotee, then either they shouldn't be initiated, or they don't know the philosophy. Then the question again is, how did they get initiated? Yeah. So I think in our movement in the last few years there has been a desire to initiate people, but then they did not train those people properly. So many of them took initiation, but they're still following their wrong activities at home, and they still have their own Guru Parampara, some Mayavadi thing, all on the altars, everything, demigods everywhere, and then they give equal respect to all. So what is the offense?
Second.
Considering them
Considering
equal to the Lord, right? Yeah, so that's what happens, and then they never make advancement, and they commit offenses on and on and on, and you never go and fix them. Nobody wants to tell them they are wrong. Right? Let's say he or she is a big multi-billionaire, Seattle, right? So many billionaires. So then you'll do it for the wrong reasons, then it makes no sense. Then you are not a devotee and the person is not a devotee, then it's meaningless. So no, the question, your question seems to make sense, but it's wrong actually, the whole thing. A person who's asking that question, if they are not practicing Krishna conscious but are starting to practice, then I can explain and say, okay, for now you can, but Krishna is the main person in your altar. Then later on I will say, you can slowly tell the other demigods they can go back and they will be happy when Krishna is served. Right? When you pour the water in the root, the branches and the leaves are happy. We read that, I think, a few verses ago, a few chapters ago.
It is very difficult because of the cultural thing. And
agreed. That's why I say they are not ready to be initiated.
So they should not take initiation.
They shouldn't. They are going to commit offense, no? They should be trained first. So my point is, if you're going to get this kind of devotees, they're going to just ruin the whole movement in a few years. Then will not be International Krishna Conscious Society. You should change it to
Indian Society.
Asura.
Indian Society.
Hindu, International Hindu Consciousness. That's right, Hindu Consciousness. Yeah, you're right, Hindu Consciousness. I mean, that my experience, my travel, and my reading tells me that you can't just initiate people like that. That's wrong. You're doing this service for them. What are we supposed to do?
Elevate the consciousness.
Yes. Yeah, that is our role, that's all. And if you can't do that, then you leave them alone, don't disturb them. And if they are interested, then you make them read and tell them these are some of the things, right? Discover yourself.
Discover for yourself.
Yeah. Right? And I'll discover with you. These are some of the things, we don't do demigod worships, we respect them, they are Vaishnavas. Oh, I'm so attached. I remember one lady who was coming, this was in Houston. She said, Prabhu, I'm so attached to Lord Shiva, I cannot give. I said, fine, you worship Lord Shiva, but make sure you offer Krishna and offer. She didn't take initiation. Yeah. But later on she came and said, now I can accept Krishna. Yeah.
That is better.
Then she took initiation. She's a very good devotee. Radharana Swami's disciple. Yeah. And she still worships Shiva, but now she understands how to worship Lord Shiva.
Proper worship.
Yeah, because the whole family for generations have been Shiva Bhaktas.
Vidipurvakam. Vidipurvakam versus Avidipurvakam.
Yeah. Yeah, so we don't recommend just because number counting. No. Don't do that because it's going to cause you guys difficulty. So you be very strict when you get, especially you have to approve and everything will come on your head. It's true. You have to protect your spiritual life, They will make mistake because you recommended it comes through him, no?
Everything 1/6 of the...
Exactly. Now you
President
understand?
gets 1/6 of
Yes.
Maybe the full portion.
Not full, but you will take 1/6, Prabhu. I'm not making it up. It's a fact. Yeah, so you protect yourself, you tell why you want to take initiation.
So they can do like that, right? Prabhu saying, okay, now I know, let's say Parvati or Shiva is servant of Krishna, so I'll do like that. Then they can continue doing like that.
Yeah, but you test them, you question them, you see their behavior, you say, okay, you say like that 6 months more, I want to see how you are behaving. And then, okay, I now give my blessing because you understand the philosophy.
No, but they are not willing to give up their practices. Is it
Practices means they are not willing to give up, my God is this.
They're not changing.
This is something more deeper, actually.
Exactly, yeah. You can associate, but you can give your association.
Initiation is still the beginning, right?
True, but if it's from the beginning it's wrong, you're going to have problems later on.
There are some minimum standards.
Yeah, you have to have some minimum standard.
And also once initiation they are representing ISKCON, Prabhupada, everything, right?
Yeah, they are representing Krishna, they should represent Krishna. Yeah. Right? Are you having doubts now? Why did I get initiated? No, have it, understand properly, then you'll appreciate it better. Then you know who the demigods are. They're just like us, but they are empowered personalities to do the universal affairs. They are administrators of the universe. They are all Vaishnavas, but they are not God. Krishna. There's only one God. Ekala Krishna.
Arasava
Bhartya.
Ekala Ishvara Krishna. So I'm ready to read now. I've set up my system. Magnification.
Oh, you set up your magnification. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Yada hi dvijavarseshu matravalokanugatirnasa. 11:3. Oh, 11:3. I'm doing 10th. Okay.
You could do that. We will continue with
That's that is even better because I missed the first 1.5 hours of lecture anyways.
Thank you for being merciful on us.
You are merciful. Allowed me to come.
Okay, go ahead.
Na tasya tattva grahanasya sakshat.
Wrong meter.
No meter? Okay.
Tasya tattva
Grahanasya sakshat.
Natasya tattva graganasya sakshat
Variyasirapi vacha samasam
Variyasirapi vacha samasam
Swapne niruktya grihamedhi saukyam
Svapne niruktya grihamedhi saukyam
Na yasya heyanumamitam swayam swayat
Nayaseyanumitam swayam syat.
A dream becomes automatically known to a person as false and immaterial. And similarly, one eventually realizes that material happiness in this life or the next, on this planet or a higher planet, is insignificant. When one realizes this, the Vedas, although an excellent source, are insufficient to bring about direct knowledge of the truth. Ooh, kind of heavy, nah? So basically, whatever is in the Vedas is what? Predominantly Karma Kanda. So he's saying it like that. Nishtraya Guna Bhava Arjuna. He wants him to rise above. What is that rising above means? Come to the platform of devotion. Devotion to the Supreme. Transcendental activities. Because Vedas talk about not transcendental activities, primarily it talks about rituals, karma kanda activities. For what purpose? To live in a material life without committing sinful life, but for what purpose?
To elevate.
To elevate your consciousness so that ultimately you come to transcendental consciousness. So, the real purpose not many people will understand. Only those who are trained in it. Just like it's amazing, all of us, we are really not qualified, but we know it because of Prabhupada's mercy. So in a sense we have been trained correctly because we came here.
That's why Narada Muni chastises yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, so in the fifth canto, sixth canto, right? I don't know, first canto, fifth chapter, sixth, seventh chapter. So Narada's discussion with Vyasadeva, he's telling him, the reason you are despondent is because you have only glorified karma kanda, or how to live a good life. Which is what most people want nowadays.
That's what they will take. Anyway, even though you were given Bhakti and all of them, people were mostly focused on
So your main emphasis was good life, karma kanda. So therefore, the Lord is not pleased and you are not pleased, happy.
And it is a place of pilgrimage for cross. That's what it is.
Navaya vachas, right? Navayam.
When I first time heard, I got like shocked.
So people only will go to things that are pleasing their senses. So if you encourage people to please their senses, it will be so much difficult to put them back in the right track. Which is what earlier on we were reading. Right, where who was saying Rishabdev the question of why Rishabdev did not use the mystic powers, and then Sukadeva Goswami explains, if you get attracted to those things, it becomes so difficult to give it up.
Impediment.
Yeah. So it becomes a real impediment in your spiritual life. So therefore, it's even though it's factually discussed, but for the fact of raising the consciousness. So if it's a Vaishnava Acharya, they will say, do this yagna. And who was doing all those yagna also? Bharat Maharaj, but he was offering it to Krishna. But he was doing rituals. So externally it appeared that he was doing rituals, so that he was setting examples for the common people to do their duties of yagna and all this. Yes. So because he is the king, he sets a good example, they follow like that. So therefore, we should be very careful also, just like you were mentioning, demigod worship and so on. You have to be very careful how much you can encourage them and how much you, when they are interested in wanting to become serious, then you have to be very truthful also. Yeah. Don't lie to them. Then later on they may get disturbed, and then they'll say, You told me this is A, B and C. Now you're saying it's only A. Right? Then how are you going to stand? That means you are not truthful. Huh? Our whole movement is based on truth, Satyam. Krishna is absolute truth. Yeah, that's right. We discussed this from the beginning of it when we started. Satyam Param Dhimahi. We cannot deviate from that. So therefore you all have to protect yourself. I remember one temple president during Prabhupada's time. He was... because those days they wanted to show Prabhupada, so many people we have, initiation. So one guy came, courier, on the bicycle to drop something. So they pulled him, put him on dhoti, tilak, and then he said, just sit down. He said, what are you guys doing? No, just sit down. Sit down and got initiated.
Oh my God.
Got initiated, and then he got on his bicycle. So they were doing like that. So much.
Instant.
Yeah, and that temple president left after a while.
Number counting. Number counting.
Number counting. So that's why I say you all please be careful, because you don't want to. You have such a wonderful temple and you all are doing nice service. Don't get into these things. It doesn't matter if the qualification is not there. One must have the adhikar to perform devotion. If you don't see the adhikar, then don't artificially
Cultivate them.
Yeah, cultivate them, teach them. They will then realize this is not a cheap thing. Otherwise you will make it a cheap product. And who wants to buy a cheap product? Right? Only those people who are low class go to Walmarts.
One who can't pay the price.
Exactly, one who can't pay the price. Yeah.
Mukundatta Prabhu was saying that Krishna consciousness is like diamond, buying diamond.
Yes.
You will only have very few buyers.
Exactly.
Serious buyers are there. Others are like imitation, like plastic. So the plastic and all these things are available. So there will be many buyers.
Yeah, yeah.
You will not find many people getting attracted.
Yeah. So therefore you all do that. You can be proud to be a devotee of Srila Prabhupada, but you cannot be proud externally to say I am a Krishna conscious. Yeah. No, rather you take humble position. Internally you can be so happy. Yes, you are happy. But if you are very strict, then they will say these Hare Krishnas, they have standards. They are very good people and I like it, but they have standards, very difficult. So we compromise. You can compromise certain things like, okay, you do what. But when it comes to initiation, no compromise.
Yes.
Because principles is principles.
Yes.
Are principles. So I remember that incident. I wanted to tell you. That courier comes in, Bad put tilak. He said, what are you guys doing? This is in the 70s.
Wait for 5 minutes.
Yeah, after years.
Give a new name.
For him, it's like this guy's a crazy, like that, Yeah.
It looks like the 70s were really crazy.
Oh yeah, so many things they were doing.
Before getting initiated, we have to do that Guru disciple course, right?
Yes.
In that
Oh yeah, thank you for reminding. I am qualified to teach. GBC has given me the permission.
But recently I did the Guru disciple
Yes.
course, but in there I don't remember anything mentioning like this about this. What you are telling, this is the main point, right?
About what?
Worshipping demigods is not allowed after initiation.
No, that the emphasis in Guru disciple is Prabhupada is the central focus. Yeah. So that's the
But what
emphasis.
she's saying is there is no systematic course like that teaching that Krishna is the only worshipper.
Oh, well,
That is supposed to be the local people are supposed to
exactly. Locally, you're preaching however
do
you're
that. And even
doing.
before
Before even they
come to the disabled course, they should
know this.
Assumed. Like you go for
So I
interview,
understand
ask-
what you're saying. Yeah,
They
they
pass the
so
college.
Yeah,
They assume
exactly.
that you pass the college.
so anyway, so you come up with all the things that you think will help a new person. Then you formulate, and they can make it into a
they can against the course.
course.
More
Yeah.
course.
Right?
See, that is applicable to mostly Indians.
Yeah.
So because that course is for international.
No, I think you have to do it such that even internationally people will say, because a lot of people think we are polytheistic.
Hindu.
Yeah, in Hindu means they say, because we get a lot of Westerners who come to Houston temples for, they say, we don't see Brahma or Lord Shiva, and then we tell them,
Ganesha.
no, we are not polytheistic, we are monotheistic. They say, really? Yeah, we are monotheistic. But what about all that? Oh, they're just administrators, like in the President of the United States and his cabinet. Oh, that makes sense, and then they'll just, they appreciate that nicely. Yeah.
Prabhupada says sun.
Huh?
Sun.
Sun?
Sun is one. So Krishna, Lord is one.
Mm-hmm.
Rest are demigods, stars, or...
Oh, I never heard of that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. That's
The sun is God and the stars are all the demigods, like that.
Very good.
But most scientists cannot accept that. No? That's why.
The sun is also star.
Yeah, they'll say the sun is
Also a star.
Right, so understand what the Vedas is so that you don't let it, people come and, they'll sometimes you will find also when you're preaching, you'll come to very intelligent people also, and they will know the Bhagavad Gita inside out, but no guru,
Yeah.
and they will argue with you, well, this is that and that. Then you can always tell them, you can say, you can only understand this through Guru Parampara system, On your own logic, you'll come to a different conclusion. You say it nicely like that.
Prabhupada wrote a nice letter to Mahatma Gandhi on this.
Who?
Prabhupada wrote a nice letter to Mahatma Gandhi on this.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I think so. I can't vaguely.
Yeah, he wrote a nice letter that because problem is you don't have a guru.
Is that? It's good. So
You're reading all these things, doing all these things.
but it's not based on.
Yes, Guru
Which is
Parampara.
what Jadabharat is telling Raghugana. Yeah, you have a philosophy, but it's not correct.
In Mahatma Gandhi's Bhagavad Gita introduction, he says, I haven't referred to any books. Just telling that it's all from my own understanding.
Yeah, it's just like so many individual people. They say, don't believe in Krishna, don't believe in that, but believe in me. So who are you taking the position, right?
That's competitors.
Yeah, rascals. So that's basic.
Another
So,
rascal, he read Bhagavad Gita.
Mhm.
He put his picture and put his peacock feather and gives.
Who's that?
That later.
They're all rascals.
It's there in Amazon. You can see the
I
book
know.
is
I'm
there.
saying all rascals. Amazon got all kinds of horrible books.
Amazon, that book is there. It's very popular. There is. Wow.
Yeah.
He put
Anyway,
Bhagavad Gita and
if you want them to enjoy the material world, yeah, by all means, the Vedas is the way to go. But then you have the consequences is you have to suffer as well, right?
what goes up, it has to come there.
Like we said, one of the kings, King Nirga, so perfect. One mistake and he suffered terribly. So that's what you want, eternal life or temporary life. Right? So you can tell them, Krishna, Suras. What do you want? Eternal life or temporary? What do you want? A lot of people will go for temporary life. A lot of them will say, no, I really want this now. Later on I can think about it. Yeah. So they're not as intelligent as we give them credit for. Text 4.
Yavan mano rajasa purushasya
Wrong meter.
Wrong meter again. Yavan mano rajasa purushasya Satvena va tamasa vamurudham Cheto virakuti viratanoti Nirankusam kushalam chetaram va
As long as the mind of the living entity is contaminated by the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion and ignorance, his mind is exactly like an independent, uncontrolled elephant. It simply expands its jurisdiction of pious and impious activities by using the senses. The result is that the living entity remains in the material world to enjoy and suffer pleasures and pains due to material activity. Right? That's what it is. Generally, what are we doing? We are wandering from one enjoyment to another type of enjoyment. And according to our consciousness, we see one enjoyment and we can see another person as suffering. But from the person who's suffering, that person is thinking he is enjoying. Interesting, na? But that is reality. For example, if the whole world, everyone was born and all the chairs had a nail sticking out, one pin sticking out. That's how they made chairs from the beginning. Everybody. So you are used to sitting on a nail. And then you are thinking
One or everywhere this nail.
everywhere is nails, right? So you are thinking it is normal. So you are thinking it's normal, and then one day someone pull the nail out and then you are like, wow, it's a new experience. Otherwise this is reality. We all experience something and we think it's okay. Until like Prabhupada comes and pulls it out and says, oh, that's really real relief. Right?
Absence of pain, we think that's pleasure. In the material world.
Yes. Oh, the interruption of misery is happiness. Right? It's like, happy birthday, oh wow, you're so happy for that day. Then suddenly no more happy.
Don't do the happy death day also is good.
Yeah. Yeah. So therefore, his point is, you have to come to transcendental platform to understand that you are in the modes. Otherwise, you don't know you are in the modes. Right? Unless you are, the whole point is, unless you are elevated, you cannot see or help others also. Correct? If you are drowning, another person drowning, how you can help each other?
Both of us.
You will drown the other guy first. So you will hold them, push them. Right. So therefore, unless you are on the boat looking down, then you can say this person is drowning. So if you are following karma kanda, then how can you say this is okay, that is not okay? You cannot. So unless you practice Krishna consciousness, then you can say karma kanda is not the best solution for life. It's a temporary solution. Okay. Next verse.
Savasanatma Vishayoparakto Guna Pravaho Vikrita Shodasatma Vivarta Pritam Nama Pirupa Bedam Antar Bahispam Chapureshtanoti
Because the mind is absorbed in desires for pious and impious activities. It is naturally subjected to the transformations of lust and anger. Kamaesha. In this way, it becomes attracted to material sense enjoyment. In other words, the mind is conducted by the modes of goodness, passion and ignorance. There are 11 senses and 5 material elements, and out of these 16 items, the mind is the chief. Therefore, the mind brings about birth in different types of bodies among demigods, human beings, animals and birds. Karanam. When the mind is situated in a higher or lower position, it accepts a higher or lower material body. So from now on, he's going to talk about how to control the mind, or what the mind is doing for the poor living entity. So we read in Bhagavad Gita 3rd chapter, right? When the living entity comes into this world, the love of God transforms into due to
Contact with
mode of passion. And then once he can't get it, it becomes wrath. Yeah. And then when he is angry, intelligence lost or bewildered. And then he falls down lower again. So every time you don't take up higher consciousness,
Come down.
chances are you will only
Go down.
go down. I think it's Faraday's principle, right? Like that.
Faraday's, electric principle.
The right hand principle, left hand. Anyway, the point is, if you don't make the progress to transcendental thing, you cannot sustain in the highest material realm for long, even if you are demigod. You can't. You will have to come down. Right? We studied that, right? Yes. And also that the demigods, after they finish, what happens? They just fall down as rain.
Go into the grain.
Grain to grain.
To
in the plains.
to baby.
Shooting stars.
And then an animal can come and eat, and then you become a pig or a dog, but not in Vrindavan. Then what? Now they have pigs as pets also. Pigs as pets. I'm fascinated by, in this country particularly, there was this lady who had a baboon as a pet.
In Seattle, somebody had an anaconda as a pet.
That's normal.
Oh, really?
That's normal.
That's normal?
Yeah. Then another place they had tiger, lion as pets, but they won't let cows in the city because they say it will carry the germs and the dairy industry will collapse. So I'm saying it's fascinated by how they think. Yeah, so if you are not careful and if you let into desires, material desires, it doesn't matter, whatever. It could be, you may say, I never did any bad thing. All I like to do was eat so much. Then you didn't take prasadam, but you were eating all kinds of stuff. Then next life you become either a pig or something else. Right? Or you can say, no, I don't disturb anybody, I'll just sleep every day, 6 hours, 10 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours. You become like a bear or some hibernating animal. So you have to be careful, no? We cannot say, I've been initiated, now I can go back to bed. Sure, you'll be bedded. So we appreciate what the Bhagavad is trying to tell us, and that we should not continue to be ignorant of Krishna. So Prabhupada therefore quotes the Chaitanya Charitamrita verse, Krishna Buli Se Jiva Anadi Bahirmukha. That means he turned away. He turned away from his original position as a servant of Krishna. Ateva Maya Tare Deya Sansara Dukkha. So therefore he goes into this cycle of misery. Okay, I think we'll stop here. I need to take a break actually. And we'll start in an hour. Yeah, go and have your lunch.
Yeah.